Hi everyone, my name is Himanshu and this year I worked with the CDLI organization on Sumerian Translation Pipeline project as my Google Summer of Code task along with my mentor Ravneet Punia. So basically the primary objective of my project was to build an end-to-end translation pipeline which can take a raw Sumerian transliterated text as an input of UR3 period and can provide the English translation of those phrases along with the named entity recognition and part of speech tagging. Most of the components of our pipeline can be generalized to any other low resource languages to obtain an interpretable execution of the techniques and to uncover linguistic phenomena in lower resource setting. In this project, I focused mainly on the sequence labeling task and the integration of the NLP pipeline containing POS, NER, and machine translation model. Machine translation project was handled separately by Rachit, which is already explained. So basically we worked with the four different datasets for our sequence labeling task. The MTAAC and ETCSL corpora were both manually annotated for morphology by Cuneiform Linguistics. Although ETCSL uses a slightly different tag set than MTAAC, we favored the MTAG tag set since it has also been mapped to universal dependencies. In order to reduce the data sparsity, we also performed text augmentation using the set of labeled named entities. One of the example is also shown in the third point. We got these named entities and it helped us to increase the number of phrases from around 5,000 to 20,000. On combining it with the ETCSL labeled data, it resulted to a final dataset for sequence labeling. The left image shows the composition of our final POS and NER dataset. Different tags were given along with the number of times they appeared in the final dataset. We used ATF file as an input for our pipeline. Cuneiform scripts translations are normally stored in the ATF formats, which are domain specific. We used these files and processed them further. We extracted the phrases, processed the text, and passed it to our pipeline for POS, NER, and machine translation model. We worked with these manually annotated dataset which were unexplored for such tasks and experimented across various algorithms ranging from simple machine learning models to advanced deep learning architecture. We basically used these five different models: the hidden Markov model, conditional random fields, bidirectional LSTM, FLAIR, and Roberta language model. Hidden Markov models and conditional random field are discriminative probabilistic classifiers which optimize the weights or parameters in order to maximize the conditional probability distribution. HMM is based on simple Markov process, whereas CRF is an extension of HMM which uses the set of features or domain specific rules that makes the model more robust for the specific language. We also developed domain specific rules for Sumerian, such as for example, if the word is followed by DUMU, which means son of, then it is most likely to be the named entity. Similarly, if the word starts with Lugal, which means king, is most likely to be the personal name. And if the word contains Ki, then the word is most likely to be the geographical name and should be tagged with the GN. So we passed these set of rules to our CRF model. Bidirectional LSTM is the well-known structure and is an extension of simple recurrent neural networks which deals with the sequential inputs. We tried it separately as well as with the additional CRF layer and with different word embeddings such as word2vec, glove, and fast text. FLAIR is a language model which provides contextual string embeddings for sequence labeling tasks. We basically trained the bidirectional character language model using the Sumerian monolingual phrases and retrieved the contextual embedding for each word, which we then passed into our vanilla bidirectional LSTM CRF model. It can be observed from the figure. It basically uses the characters of words and generate embeddings based on its surrounding. So the same word can have different embeddings based on the surrounding words in a phrase. Roberta is the general purpose language model, which is a modification of BERT. It proves to be performed very well for many natural language processing tasks and gave the state of art results. So we use the Roberta model and we trained it on 1.5 million Sumerian phrases along with the byte level byte pair encoding and fine tuned it on our POS and NER corpus. It uses the transformer architecture and an attention mechanism which basically learns the contextual relationships between the words or subwords in the text. The table given below represents the metric score of our different models for POS and NER tasks. The conditional random field along with the domain specific rules gave us the best F1 score for the POS tagging task, even better than the complex Roberta and Flair language model, which are current state of art techniques for most of the high resource languages. The domain specific rules helped in learning the short term dependencies while learning feature weights. Roberta also performed very well for both of the tasks, giving state of art results for named entity recognition. The byte level byte pair encoding helped us to make the most out of the limited vocabulary and noisy text. We also tried Flair language model with various stacked embeddings along with the additional CRF layer for both of the tasks. Although the high precision is observed, but using this approach, but the F1 score is quite low due to the significantly low recall. In addition to F1 metric, we also conducted human evaluation by language experts for the best performing models. Out of randomly selected 76 phrases, around 500 tokens of words, only 8 and 6 words were misclassified by our NER and POS models respectively, giving the 1.2 and 1.6% error for the NER and POS tasks. We also did the interpretation of our Roberta model to analyze how basically model works. These are the visualization of our two randomly selected phrases from the for the sequence labeling task, indicating the attention given to each subword for tagging the target word with their predicted labels. It can be observed from the figure that the word kin and ku uh, are the are contributing positively to tag KU3 BBAR as a noun, whereas in the right image the uh, UR, KI and HUL, which means destroy, is contributing positively to tag it with the geographical name. It can also be observed from the corresponding human annotation. The model interpreted similar to our human experts. It also depends on the tokenization. The different tokenization may result to different uh, visualization and the uh, attribution on each subword or word. Our final pipeline basically has the following features. We can pass any ATF or the TXT file as an input. We also used the all previous human annotated data to generate our final kernel output results. Kernel format provides basically the extensibility and simplicity, which makes the conversion easy and annotation flexible. We have different choices for all the models in part of speech tagging, named entity recognition, and the machine translation. The final output generates with four files along with the one output kernel folder. This is a simple example which we ran on our pipeline. I randomly took one ATF file and passed it from the CDL website and passed it to our translation pipeline, which goes through the part of speech tagging, named entity recognition, and machine translation. It can be seen from the right figure that our model performed well for all the tasks, giving the structural and informative output. The efficient use of previous human annotated data can also be observed from here. And with all these information, it is very easy even for a naive user to understand any cuneiform script, and this is what we were able to achieve. The pipeline can be easily accessed through the web API and can be then on any ATF file. Thank you all for listening and the CDLI team for providing me this opportunity. Thank you.